Hello, beautiful people that are joining me live. Let me hang around a little bit, wait for some more people to join whilst I share this to Instagram so more lovely people can find us. So you just settle in, make yourself a cup of tea. Here's the thing, I've started drinking dandelion tea again because it's really good for your hormones. But at what cost? But alas, I do feel a lot better this round of luteal phase. So I'm sorry to say the dandelion tea is working. But hey, anything in the name of healthy hormones and a beautiful, healthy womb space. Cool, that's done, I think, unless I've sent that to... There it is. I know we're technically out of Mercury retrograde, and I know that technically, in theory, retrogrades shouldn't affect me because I was born underneath a Mercury retrograde. I can still feel them in the air like a storm, and I'm just so paranoid of always sending anybody with their own business or that does this kind of stuff will know that you've got to send a lot of back of house messages to different accounts, and so I'm just worried one day that I'm going to send the most random asinine message supposedly to myself, but it will actually be sent to somebody probably very important. Should we pose for selfie? Ooh, everything's back to front. Can't knock off the cards, and I'll introduce you to the cards in a minute, but this is one of my golden oldie favourite decks. I love them. Okay. You look beautiful. Okay, we're nearly done. Hopefully you're settling in, you're getting really comfortable. I can't type today. It's the first day of my bleed. All I need to do is breathe. Breathe through it. Breathe in Mercury prograde. Breathe in Mercury being normal. Breathe out retrograde. So if you can hear my dog barking. I'm not sorry, actually. She's delightful and I love her so much. They're both amazing beings. Okay, one more little doobie-doo. Et voila. Beautiful. So hello everyone, officially welcome in. I need to find a way to get all this kind of set up before I go live. Or maybe there's not a way, I don't know, but I just think for people watching it on the replay, it must be really boring to sit and watch me through 4 minutes of faffing around. So I'm very thankful if you've made it this far. So I'm just going to anoint myself with my the oil that I use before I do any kind of divination or embodiment and channeling. For those wondering, I usually make my own, but then I discovered that Stag and Seer make their own anointing oil called the Seer, and it is exactly what I used to put in my own. And I just think sometimes it's nice to save time and energy and effort and kind of receive those things as well. So beautiful. So these used to be solely on my old Patreon, but I stopped uploading to Patreon and have just left everything up there for people, like the old archive stuff. But yeah, these readings are always so much fun. So I thought I'd bring them into the space with you guys. Instead, it's a lot more accessible, it's easy to reach. And if you've never been to one of these before, or you've never received a reading from me whatsoever, then know that when I use the term collective, which is what this is, a collective reading, I'm talking about not the whole wide species of the human collective. I'm talking about the smaller collective of people who will watch and receive this reading, whether it's on the day I'm doing it, anytime throughout August, which is what this reading will be covering, or 6 years from now. Anyone who ever stumbles across this video will get some kind of knowledge or insight or clarity from it. So it's a lot smaller collective, so it's much more likely to be relevant to you, but that doesn't mean that it will be relevant to you. With these collective readings, you do have to use your own discernment as well. If something doesn't fit with you, it doesn't fit, but something else probably will. And the way that I read the cards is highly intuitive. It's, you know, if I pull, for example, Stone 4, I could not tell you what the book says about Stone 4, but I can tell you how I'm receiving the messages about the card Stone 4, for example. So it's more that the cards are a conduit for the messages that are wanting to come through, and it just uses less of my, just expends less of my energy, whilst still giving spiritual succor to you guys. So I think we'll just jump straight on in. Let me change my calendar to August so I can kind of run week by week with you, and that's how we'll do it. So I'll pull, everything's so much further away. I will pull however many cards want to come through for each week of August, and then 1, 2, 3, and then there's 2 days left at the end of August after we've had 4 full weeks. So I'll just pull like a what's the vibe kind of card for them. Then anyone who happens to be watching this live by the end of that, I will pull a mini, like a 1-card reading for you guys on any particular question or area of your life that you want. And then if you check the description of this live stream now, then there will be a 15% off discount code in there if you wanted to get a private reading with me. This is valid between now and the 31st of this month, and it doesn't have to be about what August holds for you. It's just, I've been on mute this whole fucking time. Have I? I'm fuming. I was bitching about Mercury retrograde for most of it as well. Oh, God. Oh, I'm fuming. I'll have a cup of tea. We're just going to crack on. Check the description for a discount code. Org reading 15 for 15% off. A private tarot reading with me. That's valid between now and the end of this month, the 31st. So let's see what the first week of August has in store for this collective of people who will ever come across this video. But if I check my phone now, I've got messages from my friends and my partner telling me that I've been on mute for the first 8 minutes. Okay. Ooh, interesting feelings coming through. Ooh, okay. Cool. So we have 4 cards to begin with. Spear Maiden. Beautiful. Ooh, the Round Table. This is the Arthurian Legends deck, and I love this deck. Ooh, Sword 5. I used to work at St. Nectan's Glen gift shop, and this was the first thing that I bought with my staff discount there, and I brought a lot with my staff discount there. Ooh, and the Washer at the Ford. Really powerful energies coming through for the first week of August. So Spear Maiden. there is this incessant need within you to propel yourself forward in some way towards something. You might know what that something is, or it might be a little bit hazy. The clarity on that doesn't matter too much for this reading at the moment. But there is this need to move forward, but there's something, you're kind of stuck in mid-motion. It's not that it's not flowing, it's just that it's, if you have a really so one of my dogs, guesses which one, is a really reactive dog. Like she'll never have slack on her lead. She's always wanting to go and do something that will probably result in her untimely death. So a lot of my time with her on walks is just kind of wrangling her and making sure that she's alive, she's having a good time, doing what needs to be done, but that she's not plummeting off a cliff somewhere. And it is that kind of wrangling energy that the universe is doing for you right now. You might perceive it as being stuck, being stagnant, but it's not that. It's just the universe going like, whoa, whoa, steady lass. Soon, but not now. Soon you'll be able to be let off leash when it's the right time. But now we need you to not focus on other things, but just keep this momentum building to be released at a certain time. And then with the round table coming through, whilst you're in this very stagnant, murky energy of the first week of August, it is going to be so vital that you fill that time with community. This could be anything, if you've got a really strong support network of family and friends around you, go and spend some time, nourishing soul time with them. If perhaps you live so far away from your friends or family, get involved in local community activities around you, or just kind of create your own spaces in the community as well. But something about community, and I was going to say empowered community, and that's not quite right. It's more this sense of having a purpose within your community. It doesn't have to be a big purpose. You don't necessarily have to be out here changing lives every single day. But it is this, having a role will help to kind of fulfill what this stagnant energy is, what was really annoying you about it. And then the energy takes a turn, and this doesn't feel like the first half of the week will be really good, and then the second half, there's no time delineation on it. It is all coexisting with each other. It's almost like the first two cards are one side of the coin, and on the other side of the coin are the last two cards, which was Sword 5 and the Washer at the Ford. Now, both of those cards can look terrifying. Most of my decks look quite gnarly. Don't know what that says about me. I think it's the Celtic way. Things always look a lot scarier than they actually are, in especially Celtic mythology and just the Celtic, these lands. And we'll get onto the Washer and the Ford in a minute, because she's not all that she appears to be, nor are the energies that's coming through. But yes, Sword 5, you've got to stop this. We were talking about the kind of incessant need to move forward, but it's just not been the right time, and that's not because you're unworthy. It's not your fault in any way. It's just the universe saying it's going to be the right time soon, just that time is not now. So you're going to channel that energy, or the kind of the time that would be filled with whatever it is that you're striving for, filling that time with community and purpose within the community. But at the same time, you're going to be kind of at loggerheads with that part of yourself that's like, no, I should be doing something towards what it is that I'm striving for. But sometimes having a break and a rest is the best thing you can do for yourself. It gives your mind the time to kind of clear out, let any dust settle. It's nurturing to do that from time to time. So it's a laying down of swords between these two seemingly opposing parts of yourself, and allowing them to coexist in a much more peaceful, balanced, sometimes nuanced way together. Now, the Washer at the Ford, look at her again, gaze upon her again. Terrifying, she's supposed to be. So the Washer at the Ford is this figure in Celtic Arthurian mythology, where you find this a lot throughout Arthurian myths, actually. The knights off on their holy quests, in their search for the Holy Grail, they are seemingly constantly coming across in their own words, not mine, in their own words, these hideous, ugly women, like if you read the myths themselves, the stories, they're described as having like the tip of their nose scrapes on the floor, a head of a giant and the body of a dwarf. Like it's all like, this isn't just like, but she's not Kim Kardashian. This is like grotesque, monstrous, beastly women. And one way or another, it varies from story to story. Whichever knight stumbles upon this grotesque creature has to then marry her and bed her. But with bravery, he can't be like, yeah, I'll marry you, even though I think you're disgusting and gross. He has to be like, yes, for the Holy Grail, I have to marry you, and so I will do it, and I will do it gladly, my love. And then the moment that they kiss, she turns into this most like beautiful, radiant, young woman, and she stays that way forever. And that is the Washer at the Ford. That is one of her faces, she's known as. But the Washer at the Ford is a figure that comes after a battle. She is not something you just stumble across. She is there with purpose beyond the trickery, the initiation that these women figures tend to bring. The Washer at the Ford is there after you've won a hard-won fight, and you've again had to lay down your sword, wash yourself in the stream at the ford, and then she appears to help you de-armor, to help you kind of remove and wash away all the murk and mire of the battle. And then you kiss each other, everything's wonderful, and then she transforms into the spectacular self. So, brief rundown of the history behind us. She is representing in the sense, you have lain down the sword. So we saw that in the card before, sword 5, you have lain down your swords. And so you have to, again, it's that rest. You do need to just wash away. A lot of cleansing rituals for the first week of August will be really, really beneficial for all of you. Just to approach the kind of tail end of summer with a bit more. I feel like most of you have had a purpose this whole summer, but it's not been quite fulfilled, like I said, because it's just not the right time. And so still having that purpose, still aiming towards it, but knowing that there's time to breathe in between striving and fighting and pushing for it. And all this rest, and when I say rest, I mean whatever is restful for you. Restful could be hiking up a tour, restful could be going to the cinema with your friends, whatever. So resting in a way that feels good for your nervous system will be so much more beneficial. Go away, little there you go. Okay. So the back of house on this live stream keeps telling me things that I don't understand. Yes, allow yourself to rest in a way that feels really good and beneficial to you and your nervous system in particular, because that is your nervous system that's been wearing the armor, and it's time to de-armor that. Allow the energy, that the archetype of the Washer at the Ford, to wash that away for you. So let's look at the second week of August, my birthday week. Love it. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, 4 cards again. Beautiful. So second week of August 2026, we have stone 9. Look at all those little creatures. Oh, I love it. Ooh, the cauldron. Spear 2. And oh, the sun. So things are perking back up. Not that things are bad at all in the first week. They're not. They're much more. It's a bit more movement in the second week. So stone 9. It's if you're somebody who gets a lot from shamanic journeying, or if you're somebody who has really deep and powerful, impactful dreams, the second week of August is going to be the time to journey with those things. Perhaps journey like with the help of plant medicine like mugwort, or just self-journey, or go to any beloved practitioner that you trust and know and receive something from them. This, whatever it is, whether it's just journeying through your own dream time or receiving a shamanic journey or something from a fellow practitioner or myself, then whatever happens throughout that experience, that will give you the answers on how to gain that forward momentum that you've been seeking for a while, but you've been consciously aware of that more during the first week of the month. And you may well find that there's more synchronicities flying around in the second week because you're building up to the right time to achieve whatever it is that you've been wanting to achieve. This whole time has just been the universe kind of putting the puzzle pieces together. And every now and then it might have dropped a puzzle piece, so it's got to crawl under the table and find it and then put it back. So things, like I said, may feel like they've been taking longer. But as far as the universe and your spirit team are concerned, it's all going perfectly to plan. So yeah, you'll be building towards this moment of big or little destiny. And yeah, there's that sense of, I don't know, like when you're a kid and you're about to go to like the fair or something, it's that feeling of like, oh, something really exciting is about to happen, but it's just journeying with what that is. Have I got the wrong notifications? Oh, there we go. Cool. Yes, and then the cauldron. So this is the cauldron, at least in this reading, of inspiration, of slow but steady movement. You know, if you're stirring the big cauldron, it's always in movement. It's always being, something is always being evoked. There's always something happening beneath and on top of the surface of the water. And like I said, slow movement here. This isn't like, I've never been to the races, but I imagine there's like little doors that open for the dogs and then boom, they go. It's not that. This is much more of a more conscious journey forward. You've actually been given the privilege of time to really assess how you want to achieve what you want to achieve, who can help you achieve it. You know, you get to pick and choose these certain things. And so I can hear my dogs barking again. And yes, this is your time to really, this is the calm before, not the calm before the storm. This is the breath before the cardio, if you like. Be very intentional with the energies that you bring into this week. And I would say any kind of physical movement will be super beneficial during this time, but particularly whatever you do, bring mindfulness into it. But something like asana yoga, very mindful walks, even like weightlifting, anything that just gets you moving, do it with mindful integrity and intention to begin to further awaken those creation energies within you at your root and your sacral. And then Spare 2 coming in, did we? We did. Don't know if you can see. So the first card from the last little reading that we did for the first week has a teeny tiny hawk on it, just on this lady's arm there. And Spare 2 has a big old hawk on it. And so this is relating to the same message, the same intention of, this is confirming that the second week of August still is not the time to achieve the thing that you're striving for, but more movement is being made towards it. And you're being, after the kind of community work and the, you know, putting down your sword from those two parts of yourself that you do in the first week, the second week, because you've had that mental space from thinking and figuring out and feeling into all these things that it's just not the right time to do yet. It's given you the space to finally get different perspective on the situation, and during the second week of August, you'll figure out a new way that you can achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And then the sun coming in. This is just an all-around bloody lovely card. Look how happy that little guy is. Gawain is this Gawain? He's loving his life, whoever it is. This is a very youthful, vibrant energy. This is very much last days of summer, even though I don't think summer officially ends till the end of September. And it may never end here in the UK ever again. But yeah, last days of summer, last days of the school holidays as well. It's that youthful energy of I have to get the most out of this time while I can. Because you do sense and you do know, you can feel that once you've achieved what it is that the big goal that you want to achieve next, life will be spectacular, life will be wonderful, but it will be forever changed. It will be forever different. And so you're being asked to just really enjoy things as they are now, even if most days you might find it really hard to be grateful for what you have now. Find a way to be grateful and enjoy it, because things will be different soon enough. Good different, but different. So just enjoy it while it's here. So now let's look at the third week. So that is between, where are we? The 15th and the 21st. Those of you interested, from the 17th to the 21st, me and Holly Coles are helping a really wonderful woman run a pilgrimage here in Cornwall called the Way of the Fae. And with mine and Holly's help and the guidance of Stephanie, the woman hosting the retreat, we will take you to all of our favourite sacred sites here in Cornwall, journey through sound and storytelling and all that beautiful good stuff. So if you're free on those days and you want to come journey with me, Stephanie and Holly through the sacred Feylands of Cornwall, then if you go to my Instagram page, and if you know where the story highlights are, on the events and offerings little tab, click on there and you'll see very obviously what the Way of the Fae is there. Because it's beautiful. We did this earlier in the year and it was just so incredible. I loved it. And I'm sure you'll love it too. Ooh, interesting. That one affected more. Sometimes I feel the cards that I'm pulling in different energy centers. And that second one hit me like an arrow to the third eye, but in a really powerful way. Bear with me. Yeah, 5 cards this time. So guess what's going to happen? Spirit. Ooh, stone 4. The Seeker. Spear 4. And stone 10. I love it. Interesting. Let me tell you why. So Spear 8, there is still this sense of by the third week of August, that is still not the exact moment that the achievement will be made. But the universe is kind of slowly starting to open the dam, as it were. Things are starting to take form, take shape. Things are making more sense now with whatever your main goal is at the moment, your main desire and dream. It will begin to be slightly more manifest around the third week of August, but with so much more clarity and resoluteness. There'll be no double, triple, quadruple questioning. There'll be no overthinking. It'll just be that sense of, I need to do this and I need to do it now. And doing it, not questioning yourself, not doubting yourself, just the simple, pure act of creating, of doing, of birthing and surrendering to that. And then stone 4, in this process of slowly allowing this thing, this desire to be made manifest, there'll be lots of like energetic work going on. If you have the freedom and the time to be present with the energies of yourself at that time during the 3rd week, then do. If you happen to be on pilgrimage with me, Stephanie and Holly at that time, then we can hold space for you while you journey through that as well and help you with it. But it will uncover a deep, 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 deep within you buried treasure. Now this is one of those rare times that you don't have to like wade through the mire of trauma, past shit to get there. This is just a treasure that you'd either buried long ago, was put there however many lifetimes ago, or has just had to remain dormant until now. It's just not been the right time for you to discover it, for you to utilize it. But there will be this big, beautiful step of self-discovery happening there as well. And then with the Seeker coming through, this is beautiful. This is you stepping out on that new adventure. It might not feel new because it's all you've been dreaming about for so long. But it is this, my fingers are kind of fizzing with excitement with it, like the energies of it. It might not, if you approach it with your mind, it won't feel new because, well, duh, this is all I've been thinking about and aiming for however long. But again, if you're able to be very present with the energies and move with them, then you'll be aware that this is completely new to you. This is your first time in this lifetime experiencing that thing that it is. And with Spear 4 coming through, I always read this as like a marriage card that just looks like there's a wedding going on in the village. But a celebration of some kind. This is the universe cheering you on, telling you that like the time is nigh. It might not be right now, but you need to start making movement now. You know, you've rested in a way that feels good to you for the last 2 weeks. You've kind of taken your mind off things, let inspiration come, but you've just let it linger. You kind of softened into those creation energies, and now you're able to start making movement forward because you've had these 2 weeks to kind of rest and keep your mind off things. And then stone 10, this feels like a homecoming, but not. It's a home of your own creation. It's a home of your own choosing. This isn't a homecoming. It's like a home reawakening is probably a better way to phrase it. And by that, I don't necessarily mean like your physical home or anything like that. Maybe for some of you, but for most of you, this is going to be your internal compass of what home means to you and where you seek and or feel at home as well. Beautiful. So then let's look at the 4th week of August. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Four cards again. So, final full week of August. Ooh, we have Stone Queen. Ooh, where are you? This camera's reversed on YouTube. Ooh, Spear Hallow. Ooh, too close. I'm so sorry. Sword 10. And Spear 7. Lots of clarifying energy coming through. This is what we've got: spear, sword, spear, and 1 stone. It's nice to have a little grounding sometimes. So, what are the dates of this one again? 22nd to the 28th of August. Stone Queen. So you've had this kind of spurt of momentum in the 3rd week. Stone Queen is, again, it's the universe will give you a reminder that you're playing the long game here. This is a marathon, not a sprint. All this time you might have been feeling stagnant or stuck. It's actually been, let's take like a professional marathon runner as an example, if we're going down that route. They have to prepare, they have to train, not just training their bodies for stamina and endurance and peak fitness. They also have to train their mind, their energy levels, and just their willpower, their spirit, their determination. That is what the months leading up to this has been for you. It may well have felt sticky and stagnant, but it has been this spiritual athlete camp that you've been going through. And so Stone Queen is here to remind you that this is a marathon. Like I said, it's not going to be like the doors opening on a race and then immediately moving. It's the universe kind of slowly letting out the water from the dam walls. Bit by bit, drop by drop, but it's all there. It's all flowing to the same place with the same goal, the same end goal in mind. And this may come, again, if you're privileged enough to have the time to meditate a lot that week, do. By meditation, I mean anything that keeps your mind in a state of flow. So for some of you, that could be like the very traditional, like emptying the mind. In my experience, the more like women tend to work better in meditation, or our minds get more into that meditative state when we're doing something with rhythm, with movement. So yeah, whatever you need to do to get into a deep meditative state for at least half an hour every day, if you can. If you don't, then like I said, just mindfulness, just spending as much time as you can being fully, completely present with yourself and whatever you're doing, whether it's something very mundane or something super magical. And in these moments of meditation, there will be reflections being shown to you. And these won't be reflections from other people. It won't be anything triggering. It won't be intense. It'll just be simple, sweet and simple little epiphanies, almost of like, oh, that's why I do that thing. That makes sense. And you'll be able to just, you're automatically in this state of acceptance and not judging yourself and forgiving yourself. So it will be a very smooth emotional process for at least the final week of August. And then Spear Hallow coming through. The time is so close for that forward momentum that you've been waiting for. Again, the universe is kind of letting the dam walls down just a little bit more, bit by bit, brick by brick. And you feel that you're at your kind of peak, your zenith of your willpower, your determination, your clarity, your abilities. Everything is just so perfectly aligned that the time must be getting closer, and you have to trust in that. And it is that. Do you remember how in the first week we had a peregrine, whatever bird of prey that little fella is? In the second week, we had him there, and he's also probably in this other card. That's not a bird of prey, that's a fowl hen. There's lots of birds in the other week, but we're looking at birds of prey specifically. Guess who's in this one? Can you see him? Look at that. And he's taken flight now. So the time is definitely close. For a smaller number of you receiving this message, the time will be the end of August. For the majority of you, it will probably be within the first half of September, and this is all just the final prep work for that release of creation energy. Then with Spirit 7, yeah, like I just said, for most of you, it will be this, like, you know, if you ever seen like footage of performers backstage and they've got perhaps their manager, their best friend, like people they love and trust around them, hyping them up and like getting them ready, like sometimes they say prayers, sometimes they do like body movement work, just something to like get the energy and the adrenaline going. That's what the universe is doing for you in this final week of August. It's your biggest fan. It's going to be a big pep talk, making you feel really good about yourself. So when the time comes, which will be very shortly after this week, if not during this week for some of you, there'll be nothing stopping you then. There'll be no like, oh, but am I worthy? Or, oh, can I really hold that? It doesn't matter. It's you, and you are enough, and you know that, you're aware of that for perhaps the first time in your life. So let's then have a look. There's like 2 days left at the end of August, so let's just get a general vibe for the end of August and see what wants to come through. Cool, 2 cards. So, one of my favourite cards in this deck, we have Sovereignty. And we have Sword 2. So, does what it says on the tin. Love it. So, the final 2 days of August, so the 30th and the 31st, don't know why that wasn't just on the top of my head. These will bring you, when I say bring you into a more primal nature, I mean the kind of very like primalness. It's not primal, it's ancient. It is still human as we know ourselves, but a much more attuned version of ourselves that will be entering into then the month of, can you hear the tiny sparrow that's on my open window? Yeah, I hope you can. Yes, much more attuned to the minutiae of life, that like the micro that make up the macro of your experience of life and your existence within life at this time. And this, I just feel like imagine your August this year was a movie. The final scene would be you and whomsoever is important to you throughout this month walking off into the sunset together, hand in hand. This is like big happy ending for you, which does work very beautifully. Like I said, like the last full week of August, you've got that kind of the universe and your spirit team making sure that when the time comes to achieve this thing, it's already done by the time it's ready, if that makes sense. You've done all the work, the prep work for it. And that is what the last 2 days of August are for as well. It's like again, if we're using the analogy of a performer just about to go on stage, if you've seen the Michael Jackson movie, you know, at the very end when he's like told his dad that he's not going to do the Jackson 5 tour, and like he turns back to the camera and has a little smirk, and then like he turns back to like he's just about to walk out on stage. That's this moment. You've done all your healing, you're leaving your Joe Jacksons in the past, and now you're able to move forward on your own with your own creation, your own direction, with the people that you love and trust the most. I love it. I'm so excited for us all. Beautiful. So beautiful. As anyone who is here live, the chat should be open for you to pop in just leave your name and like an area of your life that you'd like me to pull a little one card reading for you for. If you want one, it's not mandatory. But otherwise, what have we got going on? I need to change my calendar back. So we have got, next week is the first of the new online shamanic journey circles. So next week, I'm so excited. This is going to be, the theme is riding the lightning bolt, and it's going to be this massively, massively shifting, altering journey where you release, again, it's that stagnant, stuck energy. So if any of this reading has resonated with you, it might be perfect to go and receive that shamanic journey on Thursday. Wednesday. I've been telling people Thursday. Yes, on Wednesday next week on the night of the full moon. Because it is just to start to shift out and dissolve away those blocks, and to then rejuvenate the kind of the space in your energy that those blocks took up. And then we're on to August, where all this beautiful energy will unfold. Like I said, I've got the pilgrimage in the 3rd week. I think there's still spaces in that. Do go and check my event highlights on Instagram if you want to find out more about that. There'll be another shamanic journey next month, another one of these next month, another healing, and we'll see what else. Very exciting. So yes, a couple more minutes for people to type if they want a free 1-card reading. Oh, and just a reminder to go and check in the description of this live or replay, if you're watching it on the replay, to receive your 15% off discount code for a private tarot or oracle card reading from me, which is all done online. You get a replay of it as well, and it's just an hour of as many cards as you want. We go through everything, and there's lots of beautiful aftercare involved as well. And that's valid from now till the 31st of July. All right, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining me here and for persevering with me through the first 8 minutes. I love you for that. So full of gratitude for you. And I will see you here next month. Lots of love to you all.